on fame and a career as a musician. Although I'm highly trained, got distinctions for all my grades and got a degree in music, etc., etc., music has never been the most important thing in my life. What has been more important to me than music is people. For many years I was very religious, I was Catholic, very involved in all sorts of religious things. I was an RE teacher. I ended up leading the music at the biggest Catholic conference in the country, at Walsingham, for 3 years. I was in charge of 25 musicians for an entire week, responsible for all the music for the youth side of things, for all the liturgies and the main events, etc. Out of which I did 2 double albums of music and 1 single album. So very busy years. People are more important to me. Even just yesterday I had a marvellous conversation with a friend of mine, and I said to her afterwards, I said, you know, this conversation means far more to me than my website. And I think it's very important that we get things in perspective in life. There are many talented musicians, or not so talented musicians, who have given it their all to try and become famous and rich, and maybe have done so. But you know, happiness and fulfilment is an entirely different matter. Only last night on iPlayer on the BBC, I started watching a programme on Dusty Springfield, who, great voice, great music. And you know what her friend said? She hated singing. Huh, can you believe that? Dusty Springfield hated singing. She didn't want to do it. She lacked the self-confidence and only did it to earn money, but wasn't happy in herself. Can you believe that? And you know, there's so many stories about this. And you know, I'm doing this website and I'm hoping, you know, that even just one song will open the door. You know, I would love to be recognised. I do. Oh, people say to me, you know, why are you doing this? And, you know, what are your long-term goals as a musician? And, you know, yes, recognition I would love, you know. All that I have done, as I've been saying to you on these recordings, videos about my music. You know, I do feel at the end of the day, all things considered, if you look at all that I can do, you know, I think I'm a pretty world-class musician and I could hold my own with many people in many different ways. You know, God bless Elton John, but, you know, he doesn't write his own lyrics, or he didn't used to, and neither did Lloyd Webber. You know, they had other people doing the lyrics. Well, I do my own. I write my own songs. You know, I performed in the Czech Republic with a symphony orchestra, composed my own songs, arranged my own songs. Oh, you know, so many things. And I do feel that, I freely confess, I have in a way lacked ambition. As my dad has said, you know, I do many things I'm proud of, but you lack ambition, and it's true. You know, here I am sat outside the Devonport Hotel, where I've been recording various videos. I mean, I'll just do a little, you know, sweep. Coffee's gone. Glorious evening. Look at that sunset. The trees, beautiful views over the far distance. I mean, this is where I love to be. You know, I'm not out trying to further my career and become famous and rich. I'm happy. I have discovered happiness, you know, I am content. It's more important. Life is about, God, was it being happy, enjoying each day. And it's also is about dealing with the issues that confront us in our life. We're all dealt a set of cards that are not of our own choosing. Our families, things that happen to us. I got run over, got cancer, had my leg chopped off, not of my own choice. I have to deal with these things. Other things have happened, but I've chosen to deal with the psychological issues in my life. If I hadn't faced them, I would not be a musician this day. The door would have been closed and I would never have touched a piano, and that is a fact because of things that happened when I was younger. Becoming religious, becoming a Catholic, you know, I got involved with a wonderful community of people who were very strong on the psychological and healing side of things. And, you know, whereas all these young kids are off trying to be rich and famous in these music schools and pop star competitions, what did I do when I was 17, 18, 19 and 20? I prayed and I looked inside myself and I dealt with the crap that was there, that's inside all of us. Painful issues, lots of tears, dealing with my terrible self-image, growing up with one leg, being bald in my early teenage years, through the chemotherapy. I had a terrible self-image. Look at me now. I know I look good and I feel good. And that's amen to that. I feel great about myself. But I worked through a lot of issues in those years at university. That meant more to me than going off trying to do this, that, and the other. And, people put the cart before the horse. Thinking about it recently, when, other people are off trying to be rich and famous and do whatever they're doing, I was digging in the foundations of my life, like, a cesspit, the crap, the clay, the rubbish. I was digging it out, sorting out the foundations of my life is what I was doing. I keep a diary. I've written many things. It's all there to be seen and read. And maybe you'll see more of that in the future. But I dealt with tough stuff, and I'm surrounded by people I know who haven't done that. And to this very day, right now, I'm not happy, not fulfilled, don't know who they are, don't know what they want, and are stuck. And I do sympathise with that. I really do. It's not an easy life, and we all are just trying to get by. But I made certain choices when I was younger, and I continue to make those sorts of choices. I haven't compromised. I always try to do the right thing, even at great cost. So here I am, age 47, not very rich, certainly not very famous, but I've got great years ahead of me. I'm 47, 20 years maybe, 25 years. But I have truly sorted out the foundations of my life. I've sorted out relationships in my family. Things are really good. I know when I've done little psychological tests and tests and tick box things that I've done, I've always known that my career and my achievement as a musician is always the one thing that I've never nailed and sorted. And my decision to invest in my website, is a very important step for me, just a personal step. For many years of my life, I did everything for everyone else, and I would drop everything that I was doing to help anybody else. That's my nature, and I'm a Pisces, and I'm everything a Pisces is. But there was a price to pay, and the price is that I didn't, further my own career and put everybody else and a lot of other things first, and I'm very proud of that. And at the end of the day, for me, that's more important than anything I've done for myself. But now it's time for me. I've had a good rest. I've read many books about lots of deep issues and matters, life after death, what happens if we die, have we lived before, all that sort of thing. It's been very interesting. And, I do feel spiritually, if I may mention such a word, a great yes from I don't know who they are, but people who are there looking, and they know, and they see everything, and they know everything about us, and they're on our side and they're on my side. And so this is time now, and I feel very supported, shall we say. We cannot guarantee success, of course not. It's much choice, it's happenstance, circumstance. My dream when I lived in Liverpool, my dream was to be part of a band that would create this wonderful music that would go all around the world, like the Beatles did, and that was my dream. And I was in Liverpool for 11 years, hoping, desperately hoping that would happen, and it didn't. It didn't happen. But maybe I was there for other reasons. I got my degree. Many great times, met many great people, and great memories. I became an RE teacher, and got married and got divorced there as well. So I don't know what the future holds, as the Leeds video says, I'm on my way, and I'm making great strides at this time, and I feel very good about it. The Wynyard Hall, all the weddings and everything that I did, I was very successful, and so I am building on a platform of success, of achievement. My self-esteem is grown, You know, I'm in a very good place. Um, I don't know whether I'll have that breakthrough song. You know, I've written a great James Bond backing track and I've sent it off to Sam Mendes, but didn't get anywhere. Of course, you don't get anywhere, but the trick is you don't give up, you keep on going. The idea of the website is I'll be able to contact, email anybody who I feel I could email, and just say, look, here's a track, listen to it. And hopefully they will, and maybe they will, and you never know what things can lead to. Um, it is frustrating. I do feel very frustrated when I know what I'm sitting on. I know how good it is, and there are people out there, you know, who are very famous, and I do wonder, you know, because sometimes when I listen to the quality of what they've done, it makes me very frustrated. And there are two people in particular who I really won't mention on here. There's no need to mention their names. Those who know me know. You know, they really cheeses me off because I listen to what they've done. Their music is very famous. It's all over the place. It's on the BBC and on adverts apparently everywhere. You know, and it's like, you know, where is the soul? Where is the soul in this music? Where's the depth? Where's the melody? You know, there's certain James Bond themes that have been done, and I think, and they've won an Oscar for it. Oh, so that does provide me with a little bit of motivation. As if they're doing it, what about me? But you see, it comes down to what am I doing about it? What am I doing about it? What have I done about it over the years? I've just buried it. You know, I've got tons of music under my bed. You know, in the drawers, they say. What am I doing about it? I've done nothing about it. I found it very difficult. You know, horrendous. One song, You Are the Vision, which many people have loved. I wrote it when I was an RE teacher. The kids, when I was teaching, loved it. The parents loved it. Even in later years, many people in religious circles, you know, have loved that song, You Are the Vision. It's been like pulling teeth. You know, it was just terrible doing that song. God knows why. For me, it's like having a baby. You know, when you write a song, it's like that. It's very deep and personal. You know, if you're singing other people's songs or you know, selling a product, that's all very well. But when it comes to your own music, it's very deeply personal. You know, when I am an introvert, despite appearances, primarily, I'm an introvert. All of this is pretty difficult. Selling yourself, not very good at it. Entrepreneur, yes. I was a spiritual entrepreneur and I did some great things. And I founded and started great things. I had great ideas. I saw them through. I was well organised, well planned, and I had a wonderful team of people who believed in me. And we shared it. We did it together. But I was the leader. And I'm very proud of those things. But when it came to me and my music, no. The answer was no. I wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. Couldn't do it. And now maybe this is my time. So, you know, these are some of the deeper issues that have been percolating in my mind and in my life and in my soul for many years. Wrestling all the time, every day, thinking about these issues. What am I going to do? What am I going to do with my life? What am I meant to do? What is my destiny? That word. I do believe I have a destiny a lot of the time. Sometimes I don't. But I do. I have a great gift to share with the world, and I know that. And there are many people out there with far less talent than me, you know, becoming very rich and famous. As my very best friend Matthew Long said to me, you know, many years ago, Michael, because he used to get exasperated with me, you know, God, we sat in the South Park playing a bit of pitch and putt one afternoon, you know, Michael, he said, you've got more talent in your little finger than I've got, you know, in my entire life. You have more talent than I will ever have. Why are you sitting on it? Why are you not doing anything about it? You know, and God, I mean, yes, it frustrated me. Believe me. I have much writing which I'm assembling, and maybe I will publish, you know, agonies I've been through. I have been through countless agonies over this. I've just felt trapped. I felt paralysed. I didn't know what to do, how to deal with this. And really, people around me really didn't really help. You know, that didn't really help me. I know how good I was. You know, as a film music composer, that sort of big music, epic music, because of my training, as I've said before. But I didn't know the way out, and I guess people around me didn't really ask me the right questions or put the finger on the real issues. Not blaming them for that. You know, only I can sort myself out, like you and the issues in your life. Only you can sort yourself out. You know the truth, it's inside you, you know. And if you dare to look, all the answers are there. I have found this to be true in my own life. When I've discovered what the truth actually was, I knew it. I thought, oh yeah, I really knew that. It was just buried. So, you know, this is more than music. You know, yes, this is my website, but I suppose this is my philosophy of life. You know, there are more important things than music. I've always known that, and it's true. People matter more than whatever we're trying to build and succeed in our lives. We must treat people well. I've made mistakes, and I do live with those mistakes. And when, you know, I've made mistakes with people, and I do regret that bitterly. But, you know, we have to learn to love ourselves despite the mistakes. So, you know, that's me. I've got a lot of years ahead of me. I'm very glad to have shared these sort of deeper issues and my philosophy of life. At least my hair's looking good. And I'm getting pretty nippy now because it's getting a bit chilly. It's about 8 o'clock in the evening, the sun's going down. But I'm feeling good, looking good. So making the most of, you know, these videos, sharing aspects of life. We're all in the same boat together. Life is tough. It's not easy for any of us. Don't kid yourself. If you look at somebody and think they've got it all, they haven't, especially those with lots of money and flash cars. And I, nowadays, you know, look around and see these people driving around in flash cars. Yes, they may have a flash car, but they haven't written the music that I have. It's unique. Nobody's written music like I've written, and that is a fact, and I know it. But, you know, at the end of the day, it is up to me what I choose to do. What am I, Michael, what am I going to do? What are you, Michael, going to do with your music to share it with the world, to enrich the world? You know, to help to heal the soul of the world, as Paulo Coelho writes in his books, the soul of the world. Contribute to the soul of the world when there's so much rubbishy music out there with no soul, where it's just image and it's empty, and yet hundreds of millions of people, you know, have watched them on YouTube. I know, I've seen it. What is it? Mediocre. That's all it is. Mediocre. But tens of millions of people have watched it. So I feel I have a destiny and a calling on my life to share in lots of ways, not just through music, but yes, through music. And to play, to help, you know, the soul of the world, and to heal the soul of the world, and to help to heal people, you know, to bring healing, to find peace. Find peace? Wow, peace. I've got peace in my life. Oh, yes, I do. You know, I can sit here happily. I've sat here at the Devonport since about 2:30 this afternoon, reading my book about Starbucks. Howard Schultz, great man, you know. It's I read his books, very honest and very good. So I'm a good guy. I'm trying to be a good guy, trying to do my best. Living life, enjoying life every day. We've all only got 24 hours in each day. Nobody has more than that. It's just about what do we do? What do we do? What do we do in those 24 hours? Be kind to ourselves, as I've said before. So these are some of my deeper thoughts about life. I hope this means something to you. There's a lot more to me than music, and I hope that, you know, I have a message, and I have a lot of important things I think that I've learned that it would be great to, you know, share with millions of people. I think just to help. I have no great desire for fame or riches. I'm happy, and I'd like to help other people to be happy, but it's a hard road. It's not an easy path to be happy. Look, you know, there's pain. I'm going to end with this. Whatever path you choose in life, there's pain. It's unavoidable. So, the pain of your past, the pain of stuff that's happened. Right, okay, so there's two paths. You can choose not the path that I chose, and the path of pain that I chose is to confront the pain, deal with the pain, and be healed of the pain so that it's gone, and I'm a better person for it and happy. Or you can bury it, and it'll haunt you forever, your pain. You will never escape it. It'll haunt your every moment, your every day. However much you try to run away from it, there will be no escape from the pain if you just bury it and refuse to face it. And I know some people very, very well, some people who've broken my heart because they have refused to face the pain of their life and have chosen an easy path, rejecting me in the process, because I do choose the path of truth, and it's tough, and I do say difficult things to people sometimes. I can't help that. I do try to do it in love, but you see, that's hell. Hell, if you don't deal with the pain in your life, number one, you inflict it on yourself, you inflict it on others, and if you've got kids, you're inflicting your pain on your children. And don't kid yourself, it happens, and they suffer. So we have an ultimate responsibility to face the pain in our lives, be healed of it. We can. It can be healed. We can change. We can be different. We can feel that peace and happiness and the joy of life. One of my pieces. But you must face it, and that's very, very painful, and I understand that. And I understand if you don't do it, and if you just can't. Pain out of the way. But facing the pain, it goes. If you don't face it, you'll never be free of it. And that to me is like a living hell. So, well, there you go. I could have been, had life taken a different path, I could be right now a Catholic priest. And all of that entails quite easily. And if there had been a Catholic order of priest musicians, I would have been exceptionally tempted to do so. But there isn't an order of priest musicians, but there are some fantastically talented Catholic priests in the world. I know them. But there you are, my life took a different path. I'm not so religious nowadays, but I still care about people, and I care about this world, and I care about this age in which I live, and I care about the things that happen. It does matter to me, and I do want to make a difference, and I do feel I'm called to make a difference, maybe through music and maybe through other ways. This video has now gone on for 22.5 minutes. I am very cold. I'm going.